A car accident caused my husband and I to be reborn to the day of meeting our parents. He threw away the gift in his hand and told me that we were breaking up. I nodded in agreement. After all, our last life ended in divorce. In this new life, we didn't want to relive those quarrels and disagreements again. He went abroad to find his first love. I stayed in the local hospital and worked diligently. At the wedding banquet of an old classmate 7 years later, he mocked me condescendingly for being a cleaning lady. But when he saw my twin children calling me mom, he angrily asked, "How can you give birth to another man's children?" Kyle threw all the fruit in his hand to the ground. "Let's break up. I won't go to your house to meet your parents." I suddenly came back to my senses. I saw the joy and excitement in his eyes. I nodded, okay. Kyle and I were both reborn. Reborn on the day I took him to my house to meet my parents. In the previous life, I was a heart surgeon and he was a dentist. Although both of us were very busy, I still took care of most of the housework at home. He lay on the sofa after get off work and said he didn't want to move after working all day, so I cooked the meals. He said he had a backache after working all day in the office, so I swept and mopped the floor after dinner. Every time he would hug me distressingly and say thank you for your hard work, I shook my head and said no. Because we love each other, I am willing to contribute to this family. Because he knows my contribution, I am willing to do it even if it is hard. And he would bring me my favorite grapes on the way home from get off work. When I was sick, he took care of me all night. Colleagues around me said we were a model couple in the hospital. But after attending the full-month banquet of his friend's child, everything changed. I said we should have a child too, and he mocked me for not knowing how much it would cost to have a child. When I asked him to rub my waist after sweeping and mopping the floor after a day's work, he began to impatiently say that I was hypocritical, saying that other people's work didn't hurt here and there. He got off work early, so I asked him to buy some fruit on the way. He said that eating too much would make you fat, and that I should lose weight. I was sick and uncomfortable, so I asked him to pour me some water. He said impatiently that I was not a princess, and I needed to be served. At that time, I thought he was under a lot of work pressure and comforted him. But later I heard the phone call between him and his friend and I knew the reason. His friend married a rich girl because he was handsome. His life went straight to a higher level, with a driver when going out, a chef when eating, and a nanny for housework. The cost of the child's full-month banquet was equivalent to the salary of Kyle and I for 50 years. His friend told him that the key to changing a man's destiny is to marry a rich wife. Then they mentioned Kyle's first love, Cynthia. They said that she went abroad after graduation and joined a well-known research team, and also founded a private hospital and became a big boss. They said that if he hadn't met me, he and his first love would have reunited and now he could live a life of luxury. Once he got drunk and said that he regretted marrying me, and it would have been better if he hadn't met me. Then he would still be with his first love and could be a rich man. Then he began to hint that I should ask patients to save more money for red envelopes, and he would not treat them properly if they didn't give money, but I sternly refused. He threw my pillow out directly and made me sleep in the guest bedroom. He found a reason to throw away the food I cooked. He deliberately kicked down the trash can to make me compromise. After I was busy with an operation, he ridiculed me for not knowing how to make money, being rigid and not flexible, and being a humble worker all my life. But we didn't have a loan for our house and car, and we had a deposit of 500,000 yuan. My research project would also have bonuses, and both parents had pensions. We were living pretty well. Just because his friend became rich stimulated his self-esteem and aroused his vanity. He didn't have the ability to make more money, so he took it out on me. Until when I quarreled with him, he pushed me down hard and hit my stomach on the corner of the table. I had a miscarriage. He left me before I knew I was pregnant with this child. I was exhausted physically and mentally. When he proposed a divorce, I agreed. But on the way to the divorce, we were hit by a series of car accidents and lost our lives. Although life gave us a chance to start over. But we broke up tacitly at this moment. Soon, I heard the news that Kyle went abroad. And I continued to stay in the local hospital, working and doing research. 7 years later. I was exhausted after staying up all night to perform a 12-hour operation. I just collapsed on the chair and gulped down a large bottle of water. I received a call from my college classmate Lily urging me to attend the wedding banquet. I didn't have time to go home to change clothes and rode my bike to go there. After all, riding a bike to the wedding banquet hotel is faster than driving. I was stopped by someone just at the door of the hotel. I turned around and saw Kyle, whom I hadn't seen for 7 years, walking over in a well-tailored black suit and shiny leather shoes. Kyle brushed his sleeves, revealing a watch on his wrist that looked very expensive. He looked at me with disgust and pride. "Nina, today is your good friend's wedding after all. Did you just finish work? You came here with wrinkled clothes, like a cleaning lady." Before I could answer, I was interrupted by a clear voice. "Isn't this Nina?" Cynthia was wearing a slim red dress, with long yellow wavy hair, and her fingers with red nails were holding Kyle's arm intimately. She looked at me with a smile of victory and contempt. After all, she is a genius in cardiac surgery, certified by the teacher in our class. "Why are you doing so badly now?" "I opened a private hospital. I can give you a receptionist for the sake of our old classmates." "What do you think?" Looking at the expensive clothes on the two of them, it seems that Kyle has achieved what he wanted and reunited with his rich first love. I refused lightly, "Thank you, but no." There were several classmates who came with them. One of them came up to me and raised his eyebrows and said, "Don't be in a hurry to refuse, Nina, you don't know, Cynthia has joined the top medical research team abroad, and now has her own private hospital. Others can't get in even if they want to." The other classmates who followed all agreed. "That's right, Nina. Cynthia has cured several cancer patients and is very famous in the medical circle. Many people want to meet her but can't find a way. You are so lucky to meet her." "That's right. The job of a hospital receptionist is easy and stress-free. You should thank her. Although the salary is not high, you will definitely not be dressed like a cleaning lady like you are now. Cynthia is really amazing. We are still office workers, but she has opened her own hospital." "That's right. As classmates, we can also benefit from it, haha." Listening to their jokes, I felt nothing in my heart. It is said that the class reunion after graduation is a mirror showing human nature. I have experienced it now. But I can understand it. Life is not easy. Everyone wants to meet a big guy to save themselves. Seeing that, I turned a deaf ear to their words. One of my classmates looked at me with dissatisfaction. "Come on, Nina, Cynthia has already said she will give you a chance, why don't you thank her properly?" "That's right, don't be so arrogant just because you have good grades in school. Now you are in society, and it's different from before." I was speechless. I just refused, and now standing quietly aside is also arrogant? I said, "I have my own job, I don't need her to introduce me." Hearing this, Cynthia snorted and laughed. Kyle frowned and looked at me. "Nina, I told you a long time ago that society is different from school. Aren't you just an ordinary doctor now? Now Cynthia is willing to help you. It's much better for you to go abroad with her than in China. I had a relationship with you, but I am with Cynthia now. Don't be embarrassed to accept Cynthia's kindness because of me." Cynthia smiled and kissed Kyle's cheek, looking at him coquettishly. "That's right. Kyle and I were first love. Although you two were together for a while, I don't mind. When Kyle came, he told me that you only know how to study hard and asked me to help you." "Thank you, I really don't need it. I'm doing well at work now. I really don't know how they can think of so many things. For me, Kyle is a thing of the past." Luckily, my roommate Cindy ran over and hugged my arm. "I'm not late, there was a traffic jam on the road, so I ran over directly." I pulled her and said to them, "Hurry up and go in, the wedding is about to start." I could still hear the classmates whispering until I sat down at the table. Kyle has a good vision. He knew that Nina only knew how to study hard and had no great skills, so he chose his first love, Cynthia. That's right. What's the use of Nina's first place in her studies? She's working in the hospital. Cynthia has her own hospital now. TSK, two girlfriends at the same table, and the key is that Cynthia is living a better life than her. I don't know how Nina feels. Nonsense, she must be uncomfortable. She must be pretending to be calm just now. Cynthia also heard these words. He took a glass of wine and looked at me with his chin raised high. Don't take your classmates' words to heart. I have always treated everyone equally. Although you were always better than me in school, things change over time. Don't be too self-deprecating. Kyle looked at me with disdain. I've said you're too rigid and inflexible. Society is not school. You'll just work for the rest of your life. One day you'll regret coming to us for help. The wedding march resounded in the banquet hall. I silently watched the bride and groom exchanging rings on the stage. The dishes were served one by one. After drinking, the classmates started talking. They were asking each other about their jobs and incomes. When they heard that Cynthia was planning to open a second hospital, they kept toasting. I knew at the beginning that Cynthia was not an ordinary person and would definitely succeed. Isn't this true? You can't call her a top student casually. She must have strength. For example, she can cure cancer patients. Cynthia's strength is beyond doubt. She is worthy of being our top student back then. That's right. She has studied in the United States for so many years. Her strength is not a joke. Cynthia shook the wine glass in her hand. A jade bracelet with a warm color appeared on her left hand, holding the wine glass. She listened to the compliments of everyone with pleasure. I also want to thank my fiancé Kyle for sticking with me all these years and taking care of my daily life, so that I can focus more on medicine. Kyle put his arm around Cynthia's shoulders and looked at her affectionately. I also want to thank you for helping me write papers, publish journals, and let me serve as the vice president of the hospital. You have given me honor and respect, and made me the object of envy of many people. Speaking of which, Kyle still has a good vision. He got Cynthia in his pocket early. Hey, I remember when I graduated, wasn't Cynthia dating Nina? The person next to him elbowed the man and explained in a low voice. The two broke up, and Kyle went to find Cynthia after going abroad. So, it's better to be in first love. If Kyle is still with Nina, maybe they are both working people and will never be able to turn over. That's right, Cynthia is the first love, Nina, it's the second one. The gap between these two people is now as huge as heaven and earth. Everyone was talking about Cynthia and Kyle. They were hoping to get closer to each other. My presence became a tool for them to get closer. My roommate Cindy leaned in front of me and said, TSK, I didn't expect Cynthia to be so amazing. Although she was a top student before, I didn't expect that she can cure cancer now. And Kyle, let's get back together. He seems so glorious to spend his girlfriend's money. He has the nerve to say that he lives a good life relying on his girlfriend. If he is really richer than his girlfriend, your husband's ability is far better than theirs. I smiled, and my heart softened when I thought of my husband. Until the bride started to throw the bouquet. Everyone started to tease and became lively. Kyle said that he was going to propose and was immediately pushed to the stage by his classmates. No one else rushed to grab it. I watched Kyle pick up the bouquet that no one wanted on the ground and walked towards Cynthia. He knelt down on one knee and proposed to her. Cynthia covered her mouth with tears in her eyes and nodded her head to say yes. The people below applauded and cheered. I put my coat on the chair and told Cindy that I was going to the bathroom. When I came out, I saw Kyle leaning against the wall. I nodded and was about to leave, but he stopped me. Nina, I actually saw you in the car on the way here. You looked really embarrassed riding a shared bike on the road. I really didn't expect you to end up like this. I advised you to work hard and let you learn from Cynthia so that you could go abroad and join a research and development team. Wouldn't you have achieved success long ago? After all, your grades are better than hers, but you are so stubborn. Look at our old classmates today. Which one of them is not wearing more expensive clothes than you? I explained lightly, I just had surgery overnight yesterday. I was in a hurry and didn't have time to change. He interrupted me impatiently, don't be so face-saving. Is it so difficult to admit that you are doing badly? I am now extremely glad that I broke up with you. Cynthia is much more flexible than you and can make more money than you. You are just studying hard. I sneered. He only has money in his eyes now. If Cynthia is not so powerful, would he still be with her? I felt it was boring and wanted to leave. Kyle, why haven't you come back for so long? Cynthia suddenly came over and hugged Kyle's arm, looking at me with her chin slightly raised. Are you catching up with your old lover? Kyle quickly hugged her waist. What old lover? You are the only one I have chosen now. Cynthia touched his cheek. Of course I know, after all, people will choose the best one. Cynthia looked at me and shook her head. When Kyle broke up with me and got together with you, I was quite indignant. Although I am a top student, I will always be the second top student. You will always be above me, and every teacher will praise you. But now I see that you are just like this, but people always have to accept their incompetence. To be honest, I am quite happy to see that you are not doing well now, ha ha ha. After saying that, she patted my shoulder and left with a mocking smile. When she passed by me, she whispered in my ear, you are always better than me in study. Kyle once abandoned me and chose you. At that time, I swore that I would trample you into the dust one day. When Kyle broke up with Cynthia and got together with me, Cynthia once found me and swore fiercely, one day I will stand on your head and let everyone know that I am better than you. It seems that she and Kyle are really a natural match. They always like to compare with others. Always want to be better than others. But I only compare with my past self. Back to the wedding hall again. The guests have already started to leave. I picked up my coat and prepared to say hello to Lily and leave. But Cynthia frowned and refused to let me go. I couldn't help but frown and ask her what she meant. She said that her ring was lost, and no one at the table could leave until they found it. Kyle also looked anxious and looked at me impatiently. I just proposed and the ring was lost. That ring is more than 2 million. What's wrong with you leaving later? Other classmates also agreed. A ring worth more than 2 million, my God, it really needs to be found. That's right, my house can't even afford a ring. Kyle and Cynthia are rich now. Did you drop it on the sink when you went to the bathroom to wash your hands? Or was it squeezed out by too many people just now? Everyone talked about the possibilities. I glanced at the time on my phone. I just wanted to go back and rest after a night of exhaustion and a busy morning. Your ring is valuable, so call the police directly. It will be faster to find it this way. Hearing my suggestion, Cynthia immediately refused. She also said that we are all old classmates, otherwise it will not look good. Cynthia looked at me and said, I think we should just search you directly. We are all old classmates, and I don't want to make it too ugly. Then she walked in front of me and said, do you mind if I look at your pockets? If you don't do anything wrong, you don't have to worry about ghosts knocking on your door. I handed over my clothes frankly, and she flipped through my pockets. She took out a ring from it, and a mocking smile appeared at the corner of her mouth. I couldn't help but frown. I didn't take your things. Kyle grabbed my coat and threw it on the ground. A thief won't admit that he stole something. Nina, we have broken up. I bought this ring specifically to propose to Cynthia. What do you mean by stealing the ring now? I said it wasn't me. If you insist on throwing dirty water on me, you can call the police and let them judge the truth. The noise here attracted the attention of the banquet hall manager. Soon someone came over. Mom. Mom. I looked at the two children running over, picked up one, and asked them in surprise why they came. My husband Ethan came to me and took my son from my arms, and told him that it would be very tiring for a mother to hold two babies. He turned around and put his arm around my shoulders. I said you were here for a wedding today, so I had to come to find you. Wife, I heard from the manager that someone lost something here. What happened? The hotel manager introduced. This is our president, Mr. Ethan. You can tell our Mr. Ethan in detail how you lost your ring, and our Mr. Ethan will definitely do justice for you. Ethan, isn't that the head of Lu's, the leading hotel company in China? Yes, the hotel where the wedding banquet was held is owned by Lu's, but why did she call Nina wife? I saw that little nurse again. Hello, can I go and see my friend later? The little nurse, ignoring the questions of my classmates, I explained the situation in detail. Ethan decisively ordered people to call the police and check the surveillance. Cynthia's face changed instantly. No need to call the police, we have found it, let's just forget about it, we are all classmates, we don't want to make it too ugly. Ethan said seriously, Miss Cynthia, your ring is worth more than 2 million yuan and is a valuable item. Since it was lost in our hotel, we must find the truth. After all, we also have to maintain the reputation of our hotel, don't you think? Hearing this, Cynthia had nothing to say, but her eyes were full of anxiety. And Kyle asked Ethan with a complicated face, what is the relationship between me and Ethan? I looked at the classmates who were listening attentively, and looked at Ethan gently. This is my husband, Ethan. Lily took her husband and immediately walked up to me and Ethan and said with a smile, it is really thanks to Nina that we can have such a good wedding venue today. My husband and I are very satisfied with this wedding. My husband and I will treat you to dinner later. Ethan said politely, you are Nina's good friend, so you should give me this face. After saying this, the classmates looked at me differently. I didn't expect Nina to get married secretly, and her husband is so famous. That's right, Kyle always disliked her, but she found someone better than him. But her husband is so rich, how could he still like Cynthia's ring? Is there something fishy going on? Who knows? Didn't you call the police? We'll know when the police come. Nina, why didn't you tell us about your marriage? We can give you a big red envelope? I looked at the people who ignored me at first and now started to get familiar with me, and I just said politely. Cynthia wanted to leave halfway and was stopped by the security guard. The police came soon and the surveillance was released. After I left, Cynthia accidentally tilted her chair when she passed by my chair, and the ring in her hand fell into my pocket. The truth was revealed. Because the ring was valuable, Cynthia framed others for stealing valuables and was taken away by the police for investigation. As soon as I walked out of the hotel door, Kyle chased me and called me. It was too sunny outside. I asked Ethan to take the two kids into the car first. Ethan kissed me on the forehead possessively and squinted at Kyle before turning around and getting into the car. Kyle looked at me with a complex and puzzled look in his eyes. Why did you marry Ethan? There was nothing to hide about this. Ethan's father was hospitalized in our hospital because of coronary heart disease, and I was his attending physician. I met Ethan during the hospitalization. He appreciated my professionalism and pursuit of academics. His ability and filial piety also attracted me. We naturally fell in love and got married. The wedding was low-key, and I only invited Lily and Cindy, who I was familiar with. So no one else knew about my marriage. After listening to my story, Kyle's eyes were red. Is that your child? But you once said you wanted to have a child with me, how can you have a child with another man? I was a little speechless by his words, and couldn't help reminding him, the vows can only take effect when two people are together. Now we have broken up, Kyle, my husband and children are still waiting for me, I'm leaving first. He asked anxiously from behind, Nina, do you still love me? I shook my head affirmatively. I have let go of my love for you a long time ago, and now I love my husband and children. I don't know why he asked such a question. But there is no need to dwell on people and things that have passed. My focus now is only on family and work. For Cynthia, I think about handling official business. Since she wanted to frame me with a ring worth 2 million, she didn't think of letting me go. Then she should naturally receive the punishment she deserves. But I didn't expect that she would be exposed for academic fraud and the news of using human experiments to forge treatment data. She was also a top student in our school. After graduation, she can also work in a good hospital. But Cynthia didn't know how she got into a famous research team abroad. She published papers, journals, and honors, and soon surpassed our peers by a large margin. In particular, her successful treatment of several cancer patients made her even more famous in the industry. With the help of the research team, she also founded her own hospital. But now it has been discovered. The research team she joined has been secretly using living people for human experiments. And they transformed normal people into cancer patients, observed their symptoms, and then treated them step by step. And the patients that Cynthia cured were not really cured. Now all kinds of sequelae have broken out in their bodies. The hospital under her name was also closed down due to negative news about selling fake drugs. And the research team was also arrested. I guess Cynthia will never get out of it in her life. When I heard the news, I couldn't help but scold. It's really abominable. Academic research is a long and difficult process. Especially in medical research, every successful case is an advancement in the medical community. Keeping the original intention and principles in the research process is the foundation. This method of using hurtful means to achieve one's goals is simply too unscrupulous. That day, I received a call from an unremarked phone number. Kyle's panicked voice came from the other end of the phone. Nina, what should I do? Cynthia also gave me some medicine before. Do you think there is something wrong with it? Will there be any problems with my body? What should I do? The hospital is now closed down. I was taken to the police station for questioning and just released. I really didn't know Cynthia was doing this kind of thing. I thought she was really capable. I frowned. Although I didn't like him contacting me, I still reminded him in a serious tone, go to the hospital for a comprehensive examination first and see the situation first. A few days later, Kyle broke into my office, his face full of collapse. Nina, my physical report said that I have advanced lung cancer, and the vitamins that Cynthia gave me before were all fake. What should I do now? I stood up suddenly. Quickly flipped through his report. You'd better apply for hospitalization and cooperate with the doctor for good treatment first. It's not busy at the moment. I help to handle the procedures. Wait until everything is settled. I poured a glass of water for Kyle, who was sitting on the bed in a daze. Kyle looked at me hesitantly. I knew you wouldn't ignore me. You still like me, right? I was blind to find that scumbag Cynthia. Looking back, you are still the best to me. Nina, I have thought it through now. I shouldn't have broken up with you so capriciously, and I shouldn't have said you were useless. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me. Can we get back together? I frowned and looked at him. Kyle, we have broken up. I have a new family now. I don't like you either. Don't say such things again in the future. He shook his head. No, you like me, otherwise how could you be so busy for me? You must be obsessed with me. I stepped back coldly. I am just indignant about what Cynthia did. I helped you with hospitalization because of our friendship as classmates. You were emotional, so I took care of you. If my behavior made you misunderstand, I apologize to you. You should ask your parents to come and take care of you as soon as possible. After that, I turned and left. Kyle yelled from behind, do you think Ethan really likes you? How can a CEO like you, an ordinary person? You can't be happy, only I am the best for you. I walked faster. Some people look down on those who are not as good as them when they are doing well. When they are not doing well, they start to envy those who are doing well. They are never satisfied. Some people always think that I am too high up. But I have never thought that I am inferior to others. Kyle often says that I only study hard and do research. But what he doesn't know is that my 2 breakthrough research results in the treatment of heart disease have been included in the top international medical journals. I am committed to curing diseases and saving lives. I never feel inferior because I don't have as much money as others. Ethan also often tells me that my academic ability can save lives, which is something that no amount of money can buy. And life is priceless. He admires my professionalism and serious attitude towards medicine. I also like his values and softness in his heart. Therefore, Kyle's words of discord will not have any effect on me. But Kyle began to appear in front of me frequently. This day, he broke into my office again, holding a bunch of grapes in his hand. Nina, you once said that you liked to eat grapes the most. I picked these for you. Do you want to try them? I seriously asked him to leave because I still had patience to see. He came forward and tried to grab my hand. Nina, I regret it, I really regret it, I shouldn't break up with you, can you forgive me? Can you be with me again? I couldn't stand it anymore and called the security personnel to take him away. After get off work, I went to his ward. I told him seriously that he should not harass me again. But he kept asking me to give him another chance. His parents called me outside the ward. They said apologetically, he is sick and in a bad mood now, and he is under a lot of pressure. I am really sorry, but Nina, is there really no possibility for you? I told them seriously, Auntie, I am married and have a husband and children. Moreover, even if I am not married, I can't be with Kyle. We have broken up a long time ago. Please give him more advice. They were also under great pressure to deal with their son's illness. I couldn't bear to say anything too embarrassing, but I couldn't let Kyle keep harassing me and affecting my work. It just so happened that the hospital had a place for exchange and study in the next city. I took the initiative to sign up. The hospital agreed quickly. When I arrived, I found that Ethan had brought the child with him. I looked at them in surprise. Ethan hugged me from behind and said in a low voice, my wife is on a business trip, and the wife follows the husband. My baby and I are here too. Are you happy? I nodded, very happy. When I'm not busy at work, my husband and I will take the children to the nearby amusement park and food street. But I don't know why, I always feel that there is a pair of eyes watching me from behind. After coaxing the two babies to sleep that day, my phone rang. Nina, I'm downstairs of the hotel where you are staying now. Can you come out to see me? I walked to the window and looked down. Kyle was standing downstairs with a bag of things and looking up. He continued on the other end of the phone, if you don't come down, I'll stand here. Ethan frowned at Kyle downstairs and was about to pick up the phone to ask the security guard to drive him away. I stopped him and said that it was not a solution to keep doing this. I went downstairs to see what he was going to do. He actually followed him to the next city. When I got downstairs, I frowned and asked Kyle what he wanted to do. Kyle opened the bags in his hand one by one. Nina, I made your favorite food. This is spicy chicken cubes, this is mapo tofu, and this is boiled pork slices. You used to cook and do housework, and now it's my turn. I'll cook for you. He looked at me with bright eyes. I know you always like spicy food, but in order to match my taste, you always cook very lightly. Now, let me cater to you, okay? I can eat spicy food too. As he said that, he picked up the spicy chicken cubes with chopsticks and stuffed them into his mouth. The chili made him cough uncontrollably. I put the food aside and sighed, why are you doing this? In my last life, I was thinking about living a good life with him. But because he doesn't like spicy food, I never put chili peppers when cooking at home. I learned to cook the light food he likes. After another quarrel in the last life, I cooked a table full of his favorite food. I just thought that we could communicate well and continue to live together. In the end, he pushed the child away and then filed for divorce. Now when I think about it again, I feel nothing in my heart. Kyle's face flushed with spiciness. I just want to tell you that I haven't forgotten you. I now know that even if you are just a doctor, you are a good doctor with medical ethics. During the days when I was hospitalized, I heard the nurses say how great you are. You have made innovative research in the treatment of heart disease and have been of great help to the treatment of patients. I was narrow-minded before. You are excellent. I was blinded by prosperity and blinded by vanity. I was wrong. Can we get back together? I couldn't help but laugh. Kyle, you never like people who are. It's not me, it's money. You just want to get back together with me because you see my research results and think they can make you look good. You will never be satisfied. You just want a glamorous wife to decorate your appearance. Don't pretend to be so affectionate when you come to me. You will only make me look down on you. And now I don't like you at all, so whether you really regret it or pretend to regret it, I will not be with you. Don't bother me anymore, let's part ways in peace. Seeing that I was leaving, he rushed over to hug me. Ethan, who was worried about me and followed me, immediately came over to throw him away. The security guard at the door of the hotel saw him and hurried over to hold him down. And now I don't like you at all, so whether you really regret it. Finally, he was taken away by the police. Before getting in the car, I could still hear Kyle yelling, I really regret it, Nina, please forgive me, please forgive me. Later, Kyle's parents took him away. After the diagnosis of the psychiatrist, Kyle developed a mild anxiety disorder. So his parents transferred him to another hospital and stayed by his side. 2 months later, I received a call from Kyle's parents. They cried and begged me to go see Kyle. I could tell from their voices that he was not doing well. And they kept begging me on the phone. Although I didn't want to go, I couldn't say no to the 2 old people. When I arrived there, Kyle had lost a lot of weight and his cheekbones were prominent. He looked out the window with lifeless eyes, and his eyes lit up when he saw me coming. He looked at his body and laughed at himself. I must look ugly now, right? I didn't answer. He continued, actually, you were also reborn, right? When I said we were breaking up, you were too calm and didn't try to keep me. I was glad at that time, but now it seems that I should have been the one who kept you. You said, we can start over again, can we start over again? Looking at his bright eyes, I interrupted his fantasy, no, there are not so many opportunities in life. Besides, a person's character and desires determine what path a person will take. If you are greedy and vain, and want to achieve success by taking shortcuts, such a life will never succeed no matter how many times you start over. Hearing my implicit meaning. His tone was sad and painful, but now I really understand, I really know I was wrong. If I start over again, can you be with me? I gave him a negative answer, no. I came to see you today because your parents begged me, and I couldn't bear it. I will never come to see you again in the future, and you should not look for me again in the future. Later, I never went to see him again. Later, I heard the news of his death. However, to me, he is just an ordinary classmate. Now I will cherish my life even more. Keep my original intention and principles. Take every step of my life down to earth.